All right, and welcome to the Gun News Network, where I will be your aggregate for some gun news. Maybe weekly, maybe if it becomes an okay thing to watch, it may become daily or every other day or something. So let's just dive in. This is a pilot episode, rough draft. I'm not quite sure on how to pop out the YouTube chat so I can put it up on the screen for you guys to see your own comments scrolling by. But as soon as I figure that all out, we'll get it all squared away. This is a one-man show, and let's start it out with this story from Truth About Guns. See, Senator Charles Schumer advises Democrats to back off of gun control. This is from October 19th. It's a couple days old, but it's still relevant since everybody seems to be ignoring it. All right, and Chuck Schumer's a big douchebag. Your average Congress creator has about as much cranial capacity as a bag of hammers. Like the hedgehog, they know one important thing: never say or do anything that will endanger your stream of campaign cash or rile up your position in the run up to an election. Which nicely explains why Senate Chief Minority Hedgehog Schumer, New York's Charles Schumer, is advising his fellow Democrats to ease off the post-Las Vegas gun control push. See, this is what I've been trying to tell people. They're they're scared. They're scared about 2018. It's been like this pretty much since Trump was elected. They started getting really scared. And the reactionaries in the Democratic Party they just can't help themselves. They have to come out and push for gun control at any site. Don't let a good crisis go to waste. But Chuck Schumer seems to be a little more strategic than that. Say that word. So, Democrats to ease off Las Vegas gun control push. Say what you will about Chucky. He's much more like the fox than the hedgehog. He knows the decades of experience. The gun control is a surefire electoral loser for Dems, which is proven in the past by history. As we can see, there was a few recalled in Colorado for pushing gun control. There was a whole House majority lost in 1995 because of gun control and other things. And then 2014, another switch, another loss of Democrats' majority because of gun control push. And a populist movement that just happens to be tagging along. Schumer focused on next year's midterm elections, thinks it's a smarter focus on economics, specifically President Trump's tax plan, which Democrats say is a giveaway to corporations and the rich, and GOP proposals to cut Medicare and Medicaid. I don't think the tax reform has anything to do with this. But I guess if they focus on that instead of gun control, it would be much better for us. But what kind of real politic isn't sitting well with the hard left activist zealots and some of the party's dimmest legislative bulbs? Democrats need to find the courage to learn to speak on the issue, said Lad Everett, which I have personal experience with this Lad Everett guy. He is a total scumbag. He's a dirtbag. He will dig into your Facebook profile, find pictures of you with guns, find anything he can, make memes out of you, turn you into some kind of crazy man in their little memes in the Coalition Against Gun Violence and Moms Demand Action. So this Lad Everett is a very good friends or tight colleagues with Shannon Watts. Director of One Pulse for America. I guess they changed their name. A gun violence prevention group created after the Orlando nightclub shooting. Okay, so Lad Everett's reaching out his tentacles into more than one gun control group. There's a lot of anger in this movement about the response from Democrats right now. People think it's totally inadequate, he added. I guess he just wants to take away all guns. Kamala Harris tweeted Wednesday night that the country should be talking about answers to gun violence. The deadliest mass shootings in our country's history was 16 days ago, she wrote. Conversations about gun violence have faded. We can't accept that. Sure, we can. By the way, she might be running against Trump in 2020, so look out for her. She's coined as the female Obama. But I don't think you can have that lightning strike twice. Obama was a trick, and nobody fell for it. Well, a lot of people fell for it the second time. Didn't have much of a choice. Like the senior senator from New York, Democrat strategists have learned the hard way that touching the third rail of gun control can lead to third-degree electrical burns. It's one of the major reasons the GOP finally took control of the House in 1994 after the Clintons' assault weapons ban. After 20 children and 6 adults were murdered in Newtown, Dems once again thought the horror of the event would provide the necessary public support they'd need to reenact another black rifle ban. But even with the bipartisan support, they couldn't even manage a universal background checks bill. Yeah, they were scared. Like I've been saying all along, they're scared. I mean, the marches on the Capitol are great for pushing for the SAFE Act, I think, and the Hearing Protection Act. Not so much against defending from these bills that probably won't even hit the floor. Because the climate has changed a little. You can see the pendulum has shifted in our favor, and it's just it's not worth it for them to take on. Just like G. Webb says, he hopes what happened, I think, is happening right before our eyes. And after the Pulse nightclub massacre occurred, that in the heat of 2016 presidential campaign, Dems, and particularly Hillary Clinton, convinced themselves that the time to push for gun control had finally arrived. How did that work out for them? The moral of this long, sordid story: even single-cell organisms are smart enough to turn away from heat, which is why Senator Schumer looks at the proposal of the ban bump fire stocks, limited magazine capacity, and outlaw assault weapons, and is warning his fellow donkeys to run the other way fast. I see why he doesn't want to get behind gun control, David Saunders, who has advised former Democratic presidential candidate Jim Webb and John Edwards, said of Schumer's avoidance of the gun control measures. He's one of the few people up there who can count, he joked. I guess we're talking about Jim Webb. I don't know. Is anybody commenting? I don't know. On the YouTube side. Well, let's check it out. You can bear with me for a moment. Oh, looks like we got a lot of comments. What's up, Raph? What's up, Ghost? What's up, G-Webs? What's up, Ghost again? Robert Sinclair, Dr. No. What else we got out there? Looks like about it. Yep, Ghost is right. Never stop contacting your elected officials because that is what keeps them scared and shitting their pants. Schumer is worried because of what happened to his girl Hillary. Yep. I mean, you always got him running scared. I think it's shifting. So let's move on. Okay, we'll wrap this one up. In the end, maybe the Democrats' best friends, in terms of saving them from themselves, will be Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, as the GOP controls both houses in Congress. It seems unlikely that any of the proposed gun control bills will make it to the floor vote, as far as the floor vote, where Dems would be forced to go on the record in supporting restrictions on civilian gun ownerships. Maybe that should be allowed to happen. I think it's going to happen whether they allow it to get to the floor or not, because you can see who sponsored the bill, who's backing the bills, and who wrote the bills. So, listen to Ghost. Keep contacting your representatives, because as long as you keep the fire under their ass, they'll listen, because they like to keep their jobs. All right, let's switch it up here. Normally, if I get this thing going right, I'll have some transition graphics and music, but not right now. I kind of found a weird article today about gear, so we'll go into some gear. Magpul tactile lock plates. I don't even know what this is. And if I'm moving the screen around, just tell me to stop. If that's annoying you, anyway. I guess this is so you can feel. All right, well, let's read about it and find out. Designed to allow quick visual and or tactile differentiation of up to 3 different ammo loads. Okay, even in the dark. So I guess if you're carrying a bunch of different types of ammo, you would be like, oh, my hollow points are in the flatty. My FMJ is in this one nubby, and the 2 nubbies have my green tips. So it seems like very... I don't know. To me, thinking about it right now, it seems like something that very few people could use, but would benefit them greatly in the dark, or if they want to feel around. They're sick of doing other stuff like cutting slits into their mag plates and trying to feel around, or doing bumps or something. I know there's a couple different other ways to do this, but just having these available might be a lot easier than melting or cutting, chipping away at your mag plate to figure out which ones you got different in the dark. So look for these to come out for an MSRP of $9.95 for a 5-pack. It'd be nice if they have variety packs. You could see whether it's quickly identifying between 300 blackout supersonic or subsonic 5.56 versus 300 blackout or M195 versus M855 versus tracers. The Magpul tactile lock plate provide 3 loadout identifying options in black and 3 in gray. So there you go, guys. For the gear, that's some more toys. I didn't know this article was so tiny, but maybe I'll play this video. I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but we can watch the fancy cartoon, I guess.
Developed a low-profile solution, making identification easy in the dark with your gloves on. Introducing tactile lock plates to identify your ammo in a hurry. Available in black and gray for 5.56 and 300 blackout Gen M3 PMAG 30s. Now shipping.
Now shipping, so I guess expect to see him at your gun shop soon. Any day now, maybe today. Go out and buy it for us and do a review and let us know how it is. Just blindfold yourself and switch a bunch of mags. You don't even have to do it in the dark. Well, let's go back to YouTube. See the comments. If anybody's interested in these Magpul Gear Queer. Yes. These things kind of remind me, these things are much more functional, I think, but they kind of remind me of the Unipod things or whatever, the mag pods, mag plates, which I do have a few. They work. Yeah, there's a lot of ways people have been doing modifications to their mags so they can feel around in the dark, I think. It's just looks like another product for people to spend their money on. Magpul and support our manufacturers because one day they'll take that money and research and develop something really fucking cool. All right, now let's move on to our last story of the day before we go off. And it is the Las Vegas Mandalay Bay hotel shooting conspiracy theories out of control. I think some of them are. But then again, none of the ones that are too out of control are gaining prominence amongst the aftermath community, I'll call it, because it's all over the place. Dean Wienerton, we'll call him Wangerton, Wangard, yeah, whatever, via Amaland.com. The explosion of conspiracy theories accompanying the mass killing in Las Vegas can be seen all over the internet. The theories and their rationals, range, rationales, rationales. I'll learn to read one day, and this will get smoother. Or I'll pre-read these so that they slide off my tongue a little easier. From the absurd to such as 64-year-old man could not have moved 10 bags up the room alone, to somewhat sophisticated analysis of cell phone recording that claimed to find evidence of 2 shooters, which you can go on YouTube and find evidence of 9 shooters and strobe lights and drones and helicopters. It's not real evidence, but it is a lot of stuff muddying the waters, let's say, and fueling the conspiracies. I have not seen a convincing evidence that requires a conspiracy to explain the mass murder. I use Occam's razor, the window out the to window out the theories, or to whatever winnow. I don't even know what that word is. Never seen it before. Winnow. Whatever. Maybe he meant to say weed out the theories. or that's an actual word and I'm just not smart enough. I didn't read a dictionary. That is, when given two explanations, the preference should be given one the simpler. Okay, this guy's just like explaining Occam's razor. Thanks for that. For any incident, an imaginative mind can create an infinite variety of logical, consistent explanations, but only one is true. It usually is the least complicated. For example, I might walk into a door without a cell phone. The simple explanation is that the human mind is complicated and imperfect, and I forget to put my cell phone in my pocket. The complicated the complicated explanation would be that unknown government agencies distracted me with fake bird sounds and a loud car outside of my door just as I was about to pick up my cell phone. They knew the timing required to monitor by monitoring my movements through the camera in my computer. They needed me to leave the phone to access it so as to substitute a phone with sophisticated tracking devices embedded in it. I don't think conspiracy theories get all that crazy. I mean, they do, but that's when you start hitting the click to a different video or article. So I guess he's trying to tell you the range of conspiracies from ridiculous to plausible. There have always been conspiracy theories. The human mind is designed to notice patterns and assign casual relationships. It works for us most of the time, but sometimes the mind creates casualty where it does not exist, especially for unusual, complicated, important events that threaten our sense of safety. The standard explanation is that conspiracy theories serve as psychological need to deny reality. And I believe this goes into a lot of the psychology of blah, blah, blah. And I've read a lot of stuff about conspiracy, the psychology of conspiracy theorists and making them up and how people come to these conclusions. And for sure, he gave like the most extreme example, would be, which there would be no evidence given, right? Some of the conspiracy theories that we found to be true over the years, we knew that they were true because of the evidence. So we didn't really have to create a theory like lizard people or just anything crazy like that. Like the uranium one deal with Hillary Clinton, for example. I mean, we had all the information, it was all out there. The only reason nobody believed you or nobody took notice was because it didn't hit the mainstream media. And once it did, it's now they're trying to cover it up. So that's one example of someone calling you a conspiracy theorist when you're trying to get the truth out. So I didn't want to get too far into the Mandalay Bay thing again, and I think it might know where this is going. So let me go to the YouTube, see if there's any chats before I end this. And remember, this is rough draft, episode 1, pilot episode of Gun News Network. Yeah. Plus, if I keep talking about Hillary, I might get suicided. So you never know. So yeah, before I end the broadcast, we'll go back to this Mandalay Bay and point out that this is absolutely zero new information in this article from law enforcement or otherwise. I mean, they're telling you can go check out all the conspiracy theories, but no, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any kind of satisfaction until police come out with their official statements and stuff like that. Investigation ends. So, pray for the families and enjoy life. Don't let the terrorists win. So, with that, I'm going to end the broadcast and thank everybody for coming over and watching. Thank you guys. I'm going to try to set up the channel, Gun News Network, over on Gun Channels so that we can have more avenues of conversation. And hopefully, if this gets any better, I'll migrate it over to my main YouTube channel so we can get the super chats going and just make everything a whole lot better. So thanks for watching, and looks like I'm gonna end the broadcast after I stop sharing. Thanks for watching, guys.